You know what's wild? I sat down one night, pulled up my bank account, and just stared at the screen. Not because something bad happened, not because I lost a job or missed a bill. I stared because I realized something that genuinely scared me. In the last 10 years, I had made good money, real money, the kind of money where people would have said, yeah, he's doing all right. But sitting there that night, I had almost nothing to show for it. No real savings, no investments working for me, no plan, nothing. And the worst part? Nobody ever told me why. Nobody sat me down and said, hey, here's how money actually works. Here are the real rules. Not my parents, not my teachers, not my college professors. I had to learn every single one of these rules the hard way. Through mistakes, through losing money, through watching other people quietly build wealth while I was spinning my wheels going nowhere. So today, I'm going to give you what nobody gave me. 20 rules of money. Real ones. The kind that actually change how you think, how you spend, how you invest, and how you build. And if even 3 of these land the way they landed for me, your entire financial life is about to look different. Let's get into it. Rule number 1, money is a game. I know that sounds cold, maybe even offensive to some people, but hear me out, because this is the most important thing I'm going to say today. Money is not luck. Money is not fate. Money is not something that only happens to special people born into the right families. Money is a game. And like every game ever created, it can be learned. Think about chess. If you've never played and I've played 100 times, I'm going to beat you every single time. Not because I'm smarter, not because I'm better than you, simply because I know the rules and you don't. That's it. The moment I stopped being angry at money and started treating it like a skill to master, everything began to shift. You can learn this game. The question is, are you willing to? Rule number 2, stop hating money. This one is going to sting for some people because a lot of us grew up hearing things like money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, having too much money changes you. And we absorbed all of that. We internalized it without even realizing it. And then we wonder why money never sticks around. Here's the truth. If you secretly resent money, money will avoid you. Simple as that. The people who build real wealth don't feel guilty about wanting more. They don't apologize for being financially ambitious. They respect money. They study it. They make it feel welcome. You cannot attract something you're constantly pushing away. Check your relationship with money before you check your bank account. Rule number 3, it's a doubles game. This right here, this single concept changed the way I see money forever. The entire game, every single piece of it, comes down to one thing: doubling your money. That's it. Right now, if you have $1,000, you are exactly 10 doubles away from $1 million. 10 doubles. That's it. Not 10 million steps, not some impossible mountain to climb. 10 doubles. 5 doubles from 32,000. 10 doubles from $1 million. 13 doubles from over $8 million. So the real question stops being, how do I get rich? And it becomes, how fast can I double what I have right now? That shift in thinking alone is worth more than any finance class I ever took. Know your risk tolerance, know your time horizon, and play your doubles game. Rule number 4, seduce money. Don't chase it. Nobody tells you this one. Desperation repels money. I've seen it destroy people financially. They want it so bad, so desperately, that every decision they make comes from a place of fear and urgency. And money runs from that energy. Think about it this way. Desperation in any area of life pushes good things away. Desperation in relationships, desperation in business, desperation in investing. The people who attract real money
move differently. They're calculated. They're patient. They know exactly what they're doing and why they're doing it. Money is attracted to people who have a plan, people who are in control, people who don't need it so badly that they make reckless decisions just to get it. Learn to seduce money, and money will start chasing you.
Rule number 5. Timing is everything. And I'm not talking about timing the stock market. I'm talking about personal timing, business timing, life timing. There have been moments in my life where the logical move was to cut back, reduce expenses, play it safe. And sometimes I did the opposite. I doubled down. I invested in growth at the exact moment most people would have retreated. And it paid off. But I've also timed things wrong. Moved too fast when patience was the answer. Held on too long when letting go was the smarter play. Timing is a skill that comes from experience and information. The more you know about your own situation, your numbers, your market, your goals, the better your timing becomes. You can't teach timing perfectly, but you can pay attention. And paying attention is where timing starts.
Rule number 6. Money hates being bored. If your money is just sitting in a checking account doing absolutely nothing, it's slowly dying. Inflation is eating it. Opportunity cost is draining it. And the longer it just sits there, the more value it loses. Money needs to move. Money needs to work. Money needs to be doing something, growing, compounding, building, creating. The wealthiest people I've ever studied, not one of them lets money sit still. Every dollar has a job. Every account has a purpose. When money is bored, it leaves. When money is working, it multiplies. Put your money to work.
Rule number 7. You need a secret account. Not an emergency fund. That's different. I'm talking about a crisis account. A completely separate account that nobody knows about. Not your spouse, not your business partner, not your closest friend. Nobody. This account is not for vacations, not for splurging when you feel good. This account exists for one reason only: to save you when everything falls apart. I had a moment in my business where our main account dropped to almost nothing. Payroll was due, bills were stacking, and by every visible measure, it looked like we were done. What saved us was an account nobody knew existed. That account bought us time, and time bought us a comeback. You never know when you're going to need that lifeline. Build it before you need it.
Rule 8. Stop paying for first class. Until you have $10 million sitting in the bank, stop paying for first-class flights. I know people making decent money who drop $2,000 on a flight they could take for $400. Think about what that actually costs over a year. If you fly even 8 or 9 times, that difference adds up to over $150,000 annually. That is a full-time executive. That is a serious marketing campaign. That is real business growth you are throwing away for a wider seat and free champagne. Comfort is not a strategy. Wealth is? Fly coach until the money makes first class completely irrelevant.
Rule 9. Understand your comp plan. No matter where you live, your comp plan is your tax structure. Most people have no idea how they are actually being taxed. They just accept whatever is taken out of their paycheck without ever questioning it or planning around it. That is a massive mistake. Business owners in America get tax advantages that employees never see because business owners create jobs and the system rewards that. If you are an employee right now feeling frustrated about taxes, the answer is not to complain. The answer is to position yourself inside the system in a way that actually works for you. Study how money is taxed in your situation. Then build your entire financial plan around that reality.
Rule 10. Do not panic when the world looks like it is ending. In 2008, the market crashed hard. The Dow dropped to around 6,000 points. People were terrified. Everybody was pulling their money out and convinced it was completely over.
Today, that same market is multiple times higher. The people who panicked and sold locked in their losses and missed the entire recovery. The people who had cash ready and stayed calm bought everything at historic discounts and built enormous wealth during the chaos. Every single crisis in history has made some people significantly wealthier. Not because they were lucky, because they were prepared. Have cash ready. Stay calm when everyone else is losing their mind. The best financial opportunities in history have always come disguised as disasters.
Rule 11. Study your politicians like you study the market. This is not political. This is financial strategy. The people in power make decisions that directly affect your tax rates, your business environment, and your long-term financial opportunities. If the current administration is cutting taxes for business owners, that is your signal to build and expand aggressively right now. If the environment is shifting toward heavier regulation, that changes how you structure everything. You do not have to agree with politicians. You do not have to like them. But you absolutely have to understand what they are going to do and position your money accordingly before it happens.
Rule 12. Study smart investors without becoming obsessed with them. Read everything Warren Buffett has ever written. Study how he thinks. Understand his philosophy deeply. But do not copy his every move blindly. What made Buffett extraordinary was not just what he invested in. It was that he found a philosophy and stayed committed to it through every market cycle, through every moment when the world said he was wrong. That kind of discipline is what you actually need to learn from him. Find investors whose thinking makes sense to you. Study their reasoning. Build your own philosophy from what you learn. Then, stick to it. Rule 13. Play your own game. This one is hard because comparison is everywhere. Your coworker just bought a new house. Your friend is talking about his portfolio. Your cousin seems to be moving faster financially. And you start making decisions based on their game instead of yours. That is how people lose doubles. If you are at $1,000 and someone else is at $100,000, it is not the same game. You cannot play at their level without taking risks that do not match your actual position. Focus on your number, your timeline, your risk tolerance, your goals. The only financial comparison that matters is where you are today versus where you were 1 year ago. Play your game.
Rule 14. Beat your goals, not just the index. Everyone talks about beating the S&P 500, beating the market average. But here is what nobody asks. Does beating the index actually get you to your personal financial goal on your personal timeline? Because 11% annual returns sound great in a textbook. But if your goal requires 20% growth to hit your number in 10 years, the index is not your target. Your goal is your target. Set a real specific number. Set a real specific deadline. Then build a plan aggressive enough to actually reach it. Stop measuring your success against a market average. Measure it against your own life.
Rule 15. Surround yourself with people who know how to make money. This is not about being fake or transactional with people. This is about environment. The people you spend the most time around shape how you think about money, whether you realize it or not. Their habits, their conversations, their standards, all of it influences how you see financial opportunity. If everyone around you is comfortable being broke, that becomes your normal. Find people who are building something, who talk about growth and long-term thinking, who challenge you to think bigger about what is actually possible. Your financial ceiling is often determined by the room you allow yourself to be in.
Rule 16. Diversification alone will not make you wealthy. Diversification is sold as the safe, smart strategy, and for certain people at certain stages, it absolutely is. But if you are young and trying to build real wealth from a starting position, spreading everything thin will not get you there fast enough. The people who built serious wealth concentrated first. They found something they understood deeply
believed in completely, and went all in on it. Then they diversified, once they had something real to protect. Know what stage you are in. If you are in offensive mode, play offense. Do not play defense when you have not scored yet.
Rule 17. Leverage everything. And I do not mean go into reckless debt. I mean use every available resource to grow faster than you could alone. Leverage other people's skills. Leverage technology. Leverage relationships. Leverage your time by building systems that work without you being physically present every moment. Every successful business I have ever studied was built on intelligent leverage. You only have 24 hours. You only have so much energy. Leverage is how you multiply what you actually have. The question is not how hard are you working. The question is, what are you leveraging?
Rule 18. Position yourself before you need to. Positioning is one of the most underrated concepts in building wealth. It means putting yourself in the right place, in the right industry, the right market, before the opportunity becomes obvious to everyone else. By the time something is obvious to everyone, most of the real upside is already gone. The people who win biggest are the ones who position themselves early, who saw where things were going and quietly moved there before the crowd arrived. Study trends, study where money is flowing, and position yourself ahead of the wave, not after it has already passed.
Rule 19. Build strategic partnerships. A strategic partnership is different from just having good business relationships. A real strategic partnership creates genuine value for everyone involved, and because of that, everyone stays motivated to keep it working and growing. Some of the biggest financial leaps in my life did not come from working harder alone. They came from connecting with the right person at the right moment and building something together that neither of us could have built separately. Look for partnerships where both sides genuinely win, where the incentives are perfectly aligned. That kind of partnership compounds just like money does.
Rule 20. Never let one big check change your behavior. This one has quietly destroyed more people than almost anything else on this list. You close a big deal, you get a large commission, you have an unexpectedly great month, and suddenly you start living as if that number is your new normal. It is not. One big check is not a new income level. It is one moment. And if you inflate your entire lifestyle around one moment, you will spend the next 6 months paying for it. The smartest thing I ever learned to do with a large, unexpected payment was to divide it mentally across 12 months. Got a $100,000 commission? That is $8,300 a month for a year. Plan around that number, not the big one. Protect your doubles. One bad decision after a big check can erase months of real progress.
So here is where I want to leave you. You just heard 20 rules that most people will never learn. Not because they are complicated, not because they require a finance degree or a rich family or some special connection. Simply because nobody ever told them. And that is the real reason most hardworking people spend their entire lives making money and ending up with almost nothing to show for it. Not laziness, not bad luck, just missing information. You have that information now. But I want to be honest with you about something. Knowing these rules and actually living by them are two completely different things. I have met people who could recite every financial principle ever written and still made the same broke decisions every single month. Because information without action is just entertainment. So here is what I want you to do right now. Pick one rule from this video. Just one. The rule that hit you hardest. The one you felt in your chest when you heard it because you knew it was true. Write it down. Put it somewhere you will see it tomorrow morning. And start there. Because every person who has ever built real, lasting wealth started exactly where you are right now, with one decision to actually play the game differently. The rules are in your hands now. What you do with them is completely up to you.